replacing a water heater, there are several considerations that you should go through. There are a few main types. You have electric water heaters, which you probably see the most of. You have gas water heaters that can either be propane or natural gas. That's pretty interchangeable. Then you have heat pump, and then of course your tankless water heaters, which in my opinion only should run on gas. First, we'll start out with the electric. If you have an electric water heater, unless you want to put in like a propane tank or you have natural gas at your house already, you'll kind of be stuck with a couple of options. You have your standard electric tank, which is great. That's what they've been making forever. They're safe, they're reliable. Be a heat pump water heater. They're very much like a conventional electric, but then they have this wonderful heat pump on top, and it draws in all the warm air from around them and uses that warm air to heat the water, making them much, much, much more efficient. If it's going to be a heat pump, you need a little bit more space. It'll have a condensate drain line ran. It'd be a very good idea if you're considering a heat pump to have a plumber come look at the installation. After that, you go to your gas water heaters. Many people that are living in the city limits, in that situation, you'll either have a tank type water heater, big cylinder, or you'll have a tankless. Both of those are great options. If you have a tank style water heater and you want to upgrade to a tankless, the main question I ask people is, why do you want a tankless? The one that actually makes sense to convert would be to have endless hot water. That's what a tankless does that a tank does not. It just produces hot water forever until your gas runs out, which if you're on natural gas, it never will. A lot of times, plumbers try to upsell you into the more expensive thing, and that would be a tankless. I'm not really for that. I think you match the appliance to the application of what you're trying to do. If you're just not getting enough hot water out of your tank water heater, you got a bunch of teenagers at home, maybe you've got a garden tub that you want to fill up, a tankless makes great sense. The tank style are going to be significantly cheaper, many times, depending on what needs to be upgraded for the installation of a tankless. If one of those things are your problems, tankless are amazing. Gas tankless water heaters are incredible. They last usually somewhere from 10 to 15 years. How much do you want to spend? What problem are you trying to solve? Do you have the space to do it? A tankless is going to have different venting than a conventional tank. It's another one that you probably will want a plumber to come and look at it and give you a bid and explain everything that needs to be done. I will touch on electric tankless because I do get that question a lot. And usually it's for space saving. So electric tankless water heaters, they take a lot more power, that they break a lot more often. They don't actually save you money because of the amount of upkeep you have to do. An often overlooked part of replacing a water heater are the water heater accessories. A few examples of accessories: the water heater pan. All water heaters are required to have a pan underneath them, just for if the water heater leaks, it can direct the water somewhere else and keep you from getting damage in your home. There's mixing valves, which can be very handy. Mixing valves take the cold water and mix it in with hot water to a set temperature. And what you can do with those is you can actually turn your water heater up to, say, 150 degrees, and then use cold water and mix it back down to 120, and you just effectively increase the capacity of your water heater about 25%. When you take the water temperature up to those higher temperatures, you're killing bacteria. In addition to raising the capacity of the water heater 25%, mixing valves can be really nice to have. If your water system is a closed system, and what that means is if you have a pressure reducing valve, if you have some kind of check valve that would keep your water from moving backwards through your system, you may not know if you have a pressure reducing valve and all that, but the plumber will check when they're looking at your water heater. And an expansion tank, when you heat something, it expands, and water is no different. Water cannot be compressed, but it can expand. That puts a lot of extra pressure on your piping. An expansion tank is basically just a rubber bladder inside of a steel tank that will inflate a little bit and take that extra pressure off your pipes, and it will regulate how much pressure is being put on your pipes. If you have a closed system, those are required by code to have. Those are kind of the accessories that you need on a water heater.